Hello, everybody. What is up? I am so excited to be here today on this breezy day today here, speaking with all of you. My name is Lachi, she, her, Black girl, cornrows, white shirt, living here, coming to you from NYC, which is the land originally inhabited by the Lenape people. So, we're going to have an amazing conversation today, and we're going to talk a lot about culture. We're going to talk about hip hop culture. We're going to talk about pop culture. We're going to talk about disability culture, and dealing with the intersectionality of all of that here on this fine February. But before we get right into it, I want to tell you just a little bit about who I am and why it's important that we're having this conversation right now. So, my name is Lachi. I am a recording artist and songwriter who has recently worked with Apple Diap and the Black Eyed Peas. I've recently released songs on Black Hole Recording, myself being an EDM and pop vocalist. And I have worked with Marcus Schultz, been supported by Armin van Buuren. I am also the co-chair of the Recording Academy Grammy Advocacy Committee here in New York. And I am also the founder of RAMPed, which is the Recording Artists and Music Professionals with Disabilities. We are a coalition of accredited and working artists and music professionals trying to see the industry eye to eye, to ask for what we want, to see us, to hear us. And our mission is to elevate disability culture, to promote inclusion, and to advocate for accessibility in the music industry, whether it be physical accessibility, whether it be social accessibility, and whether it be technical accessibility. Before we get right into talking about culture, I do want to thank Women in Music for partnering with RAMPed for this very vital, important conversation on intersectionality, on culture. I want to introduce a woman that I really highly respect that's doing huge things in the industry right now, coming through repping women in music. I want to introduce Victoria White. Victoria White is a passionate creator and executive with nearly a decade of experience in marketing, brand strategy, and developing major deals. She sits at the nexus of politics, music, and tech. She's VP of marketing at Columbia Records, so I'm really excited to have her here. And in addition to working with a basically hip hop focused roster at Columbia Records, she's also a lawyer with a JD, get it. She plays the cellist and she's a DJ.
Hi. Well, I think you said most of the accolade stuff, but my name is Victoria. My pronouns are she and her. I'm another beautiful Black woman rocking a ponytail, wearing cheetah print. And I also too want to acknowledge the Lenape people, past and present, and honor them with gratitude.
How has it shaped your career starting out in social justice? Tell us a little bit more about your background in that way.
Initially got my start working in social justice for the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, and sort of the mission there was specifically to help minority students in the districts of Congressional Black Caucus members. And so we did everything from scholarships to mentorship programs, essentially just trying to make resources available to those constituents. Music is something that can really connect us all. And so I always felt this pull to be in music. But I think, and you tell me if this has been your experience, but sometimes I think as Black people in general, Black women, there is this notion that we have to put everyone on our backs. We have to support everyone else, and that there are certain things that we have to do, boxes we have to check off because of that representation. And so for me, I thought, of course I need to work in social justice. Of course I need to go be a lawyer. Of course I need to be a voice for those who can't speak for themselves. And I think because of that, rarely did I ever think about what my actual passion for myself was and what I really wanted to do. And so for me, this sort of law journey, the social justice journey, and the music journey, finding a way for those all to sort of coalesce.
As somebody who works majority with hip hop artists, is Black culture, Black music, is that popular culture?
Every genre of music that is born from America has Black roots. period. Every genre. So to ask the question whether popular music is Black music or vice versa, I mean, I think to me is that we make music that is at the center of culture, and everything that is created from that is, by best accounts, an emulation of what we have always done.
Why is it difficult for Black culture, popular culture, mainstream culture to talk about or write about or sing about disability and mental health from your perspective?
You know, we talked a lot about Black struggle. And I think that when survival, just in general, is the main goal, notions around what thriving looks like, notions around how to support different identities within the Black community, right? To understand that we are not monolithic, and to understand that there are so many different existences within, you know, that sort of blanket of what it means to be Black. Those things get lost when sort of the collective mentality is we just want to figure out how to, like, where's the next meal coming from? You know, in my social justice work, we often think about how do we invite people in? How do you make them feel like they can be a part of the conversation? And I think one of the things that I've seen that has been heartening is a lot more artists making sure that their videos on social media and such have captioning, or they're making sure that there's a description in everything that they post so that it does have more accessibility to it. These are things I think even a year ago, I didn't see people thinking about as much.
When we talk about culture, popular culture, we start to see in the media, if something is represented in the media, we begin to follow it. We begin to embrace it. Because we collectively see it at the same time. Do you think that having more positive visibility on disability, on mental health, and those conversations within Black culture will also help that shift or move that shift along?
I can't fully even begin to start to understand someone else's lived experience without being able to hear from their lips and words what that experience has been like for them. Now I can do, and here's the thing, I'm not using that as like because a lot of people try to use that as an excuse, you know, I think at the height of Black Lives Matter, well, I don't understand, it's not my lived experience. And, you know, I would kindly direct them to the many resources on Google, you know, because you can absolutely read about it. But I do think that there is a added layer of understanding and empathy that exists when you have a relationship to some extent with someone for which that is their lived experience. So as much as I can think about and try to think about how you bring accessibility into the work that I do every day, I think having had, you know, and now that I'm really thinking about it, having had many people in my life who had disabilities but didn't talk about them, never really named them as such, I think there is power in owning those things and really speaking about their impact on your life.
It's not a matter of people, you know, not wanting to do it. Sometimes it's a matter of people just not hearing to do it. So we're out here yelling about that. I will say, I forgot to say I'm blind. I totally just forgot to say that at the top. So I'm blind, everybody. So thank you for reminding me to just say that. Usually I do because I am. But speaking of me being blind, I actually want to bring up one of my really, really, really good friends, Question, to come join our conversation and possibly spit a few bars for us. So Question, I want to bring you into the fold. Yes, I'm going to introduce you real quick. So Question is an artist. He's a producer. He's a musician who's won over 20 beat battles and performs regularly throughout the Atlanta area. He was recently covered on Grammy.com for being dope and awesome. And he mentors other blind artists, himself being blind. He mentors other blind artists, songwriters, producers in the US and abroad. And he's also a founding member of ramped.org. Question, what is up, my love?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, sis. Thank you for having me up here, to you and to Women in Music. And also good morning, Victoria. I appreciate both of y'all insights so far. I'm Question out of Atlanta, East Point to be exact. I'm a biracial man with dreadlocks, wearing a red shirt, And I do want to pay respect, show my love to the original inhabitants of the land, the Cherokee and Creek people.
I just kind of want to actually circle back to hear what your opinion might be on why is it difficult for mainstream culture, pop culture, hip hop culture to talk about disability and mental health?
Due to our focus on survival, in hip hop, at times we focus more on the final form, the success story and the like completed version of the picture, because music is a very healing avenue. It's one of our most like sacred pieces of culture. At times we listen to too much music that's like celebratory, and it doesn't paint the full picture of the struggle and show the full aspect of coming from survival to this celebratory point in life. And there's always a place for everything.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely agree. And honestly, I will say, and this is probably my bad, uh, to group mental health and disability into one is these are two totally different factions.
Mm-hmm.
I know that mental health is actually making a much faster and further stride than disability is. People are still even afraid to just say the word disability in the first place, whereas
Yes.
we do have people talking about mental health. What are y'all doing to help amplify disability, and what more can be done? I mean, I'm going to toss it to you, Victoria, but I'm also going to open that up to you too. Question.
I think I'm already sort of saying we're not doing enough. I think that in history, what we've seen is that it requires like a collective sort of movement in front to make any type of progress. And I think, again, two separate issues, but with the mental health piece, I think that there has been a collective sort of conversation around destigmatizing mental health conversations. And as a result, Sunny Music has an entire mental health program now that's available to artists to receive free therapy. And I think that there is a notion, right, that it's sort of that there's a minority of people who deal with disabilities. And I think, one, it's about the reclamation of the word. I think exactly like you said, for a long time, I thought I wasn't even supposed to say disability, that to say that word was an offense to someone who is disabled. I think for me, this has been very illuminating, even just in terms of how I think about marketing plans and who I'm actually, trying to direct this music to, and who I'm trying to make it accessible to, and what making that music accessible to them actually means. And being more considerate and intentional about that.
Like Victoria very correctly pointed out, the disability justice movement is all about just saying the word disability. When you say things like differently abled or handicapped or trying to say other things, you're euphemizing. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with the word disability, like having a disability that you need to euphemize. And I think one of the things that I love to say is that, a lot of times people try to focus on the word ability, like look at their ability, not their disability. I say disability is an identity. If you take the dis out, you're cutting down the identity. Just like saying, oh, I'm an American, I don't see race. It's like, you do see my race. There's history with that. So don't take the African out of African American. Don't take the dis out of disability. Those intersections exist for a reason. This is who we are.
We also need to continue to make headway in every form of accessibility. So making sure that no matter what the disability is, that people have access to being able to actually attend and use whatever events or products that we have, as well as like being included in these events and products, and actually being taken into consideration when things are being planned and designed, as well as just continuing to realize that from a standpoint of like humanity, even though there are different ways that a person with a disability needs to access things, we have so many things in common, so many similarities. Everybody has different favorite styles of music. People love to laugh. People have favorite foods. So, it's just important to keep in mind, that aspect of humanity, and that we are a lot more alike than different.
What's you're going to be coming up here and singing soon. So like before Victoria and I jump off the stage, why don't you tell me what's coming up next for you? Like what's next on the docket? It's 2022, vast year. What you got
Absolutely.
coming up?
So actually right now I'm in the process of readying First, a single, and then my hip hop EP to drop on digital streaming platforms everywhere late this year, early 2022. And I'm also doing many things with Ramped. So please make sure you keep in touch with us at Ramped Up everywhere that you are on social media. Follow me at Question ATL on Twitter, Instagram.
That's dope. That is really, really dope. I love it. I love it. So I want to thank both of y'all for this conversation. It has been enlightening on all fronts. This has been really, really, really awesome. Victoria, thank you so much for your time and coming through and talking about intersectionality from your perspective. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
And you too as well, Question. Thank you so much. And I see you're about to bless us with one of your tracks. What are we about to hear?
Yeah, this is my song, Close to You. It's a song that I've been pushing. It's very near and dear to my heart. It's a song that I really just wrote within the past couple years about progression and about the appreciation that I have for moving toward my goals, but still kind of going through a lot of stress and, you know, kind of just venting.
I'm really looking forward to it. Go ahead, take it away. Ladies and gentlemen, Question.
Destiny, 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 yeah. Before I'm gone, gotta leave this legacy. Make sure my real ones never question me. Yeah. Take y'all on the trip. Let y'all know how I'm feeling. It's like, finally get what that spit mean when Dre said 16 ain't enough. The times change, grinds change, till I ain't changing up. It's a couple talking down, one take from us, but can't hate enough. They never make a difference, I'm just sending these prayers up. Stressing daily, but I'm waking up and still caking up. Hoping to God he keep the ones safe who can't stay with us. Had to go build my patience up, now my weight is up. 10,000 hours to scrape you up, got you saving up. Bad baby laying up, trying to see is my head intact. Hesitate to let her know I feel her where my chest is at. Cause when you step out on intentions, ain't no stepping back. If that's not what she want when she get it, no investment back. But if that's that, then I gotta learn to let it go. Used to think my ex perfect till I found a better role. Hella stress, hella smoke, play the best, don't let it show. Reppin' for my bros, make sure they know I never ever go. They say forever in a day, but nothing lasts forever though. Tell them all I love them, cause someone's last day, you never know. Mama never did no wrong, and she the one that stressed the most. Wishing I could take it all, I had my own depression though. Never let the pressure fold a kid, instead mold a kid. Turn me to a colder kid, wiser kid, older kid. If you trying to learn about this grind, and I can show you, kid. Master your mind and get you trying to catch your focus, kid. Love in the city from these legends I'm admiring. Grew up to the music, now I'm vibing and inspiring them. Fire rapper tree already, ain't too many flyer than. Dreaming on the bigger bag and scheming of the flying the glitz. All of the signs say it's coming, I done put the time in there and hustling. Ain't no way I settle for nothing. Out the mud with my brothers, we finally got it bustin'. Ain't no time for no discussion, ain't no ducking, ain't no running. I appreciate y'all, man. Again, follow me at Question ATL on Instagram. Much love.
Awesome. Oh my God, that was amazing. Thank you so much for blessing us with that.
I appreciate you, sis. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I just want to let y'all folks know that, you know, disability does not exist in a monolith, just like Blackness does not exist in a monolith. There are people, and womanhood does not exist in a monolith, and neither does your sexual preference. We are out here intersections, living our lives as individuals, and every individual part of ourselves needs to be honored. And that's what this conversation here today is really focusing on. So here's ways you can help honor and support musicians with disabilities. Number one, go to ramp.org, rampd.org, and sign up. We are looking for you to help support us, to help amplify some of the things that we are trying to showcase, to try to help us amplify our visibility, our representation, and to really make the music industry a dope, amazing place for everyone. Another thing you can do is check us out at Ramped Up and ramped_up at Instagram, and check out some of the artists that account is following. There are all artists with disabilities. Add them to your playlist if you like them, and tell them to a friend if you want to share them, because we are really out here and it's our time to make some noise. So I do want to thank Women in Music for this important conversation on disability and race on Black History Month. Thank you for having me. This is Lachi here coming to you. I just want y'all to know you can hit me up at Lachi Music if you want to have more of these conversations uplifting disability. Again, thank you so much, Women in Music. I hope y'all all have a great night.